Hello children, welcome back to another video of mine. In my previous video, I taught you how to do exercises related to assertion and reasoning. Today, I'm going to teach you picture studies from the chapter Rise of Nationalism in Europe. So, shall we begin children? Now children, let's look at the first picture. The dream of worldwide democratic and social republic. This picture was painted in the year 1848 by a French artist called Frédéric Sorasio. This picture talks about men and women of all ages and social class marching in a long train, offering homage to the Statue of Liberty as they pass by it. The Statue of Liberty represents the freedom of the people. The prominent colors which are seen in this picture are red, black and gold. In Sorasso's utopian vision. What is utopian vision? A vision of a society that is so ideal that is unlikely to actually exist. But according to Sorasso's utopian vision, the people of the world are grouped as distinct nations, identified through their flag and national costume. Now let's look at a German almanacs designed by the journalist Andrea Rippmann in the year 1798. Here, the journalist has compared two fortresses. To which place these fortresses belong to? Well, one belongs to France and the other one to Germany. So by now you would have got an hint which is the fortress that belongs to France. Well children, yes, that is the storming of Bastille, and the other one is the fortress of Castle. Both these fortresses stands for the despotic rule of the kings. The people were so angry with the king of France and also with the king of Germany that they decided to attack this fortress and seize their own freedom. Now let's look into the next picture. This is planting of trees in Sorikabak, Germany. Now, what is this picture talking about? Here, this is a place conquered by the French army and they are planting a tree called the Tree of Liberty, and they are trying to tell the German people, take freedom and equality from us, the model of humanity. The courier of rice land. What is this courier children? Let's have a look. In this picture, we can see a postman. He is going somewhere and on the way he is dropping some letters. Who is this postman? Where is he going? And why is he dropping these letters? And what is the letters trying to tell us? Let's have a look. Well children, this postman is none other but Napoleon Bonaparte. He is on the way to France after losing the battle of Leipzig in the year 1830. On the way, he is dropping letters which talks about the places which he has lost in the battle. Now let's look at the next picture, the Club of Tinkers. Who are these clubs of tinkers? Well, it is none other but the people belonging to the conservative regime. What are they trying to tell? They are trying to tell only one thing. Silence is the first commandment of this learned society. What does that mean, children? This means that the things or all decisions has been taken and nobody should question these decisions and they should only follow it without any arguments. Well, children, is this with the principle of democracy? Certainly not. The conservatives did not tolerate criticism and dissent. They also sought to curb activities that questioned the legitimacy of the autocrat government. This was one of the biggest criticisms put forward by the liberal thinkers. Well, children, let's have a look at the next picture. In this picture, we can see a young man signing a document and many people standing around him discussing something. What is this picture about? Who is this young man? Well, this picture is about the formation of young Europe in Burns in the year 1833. So now you can guess who the young man is. Yes, he is none other but Joseph Massillin, who formed the two secret society. One is called Young Italy and other one is called Young Europe. Now let's look at the next picture. This picture is about a people in an island who is suffering. What is the painter trying to tell us? What is this incident? Well, this is the massacre at Chios. This picture was painted by Eugene Delacourcy in the year 1824. Through his painting, he is trying to tell the people throughout the world how the Greeks were killed by the Turks in the island of Chios. He is trying to appeal to the emotion of the spectators and he is trying to create sympathy for the Greek. This is one of the movements which were put forward by the revolutionaries. Do you know what is the name of that movement? That movement is called Romanticism. Through Romanticism, the revolutionaries and the freedom fighters were trying to create a love in the minds of the common man through history, through stories, through events that took place, which automatically led to the freedom struggle or the formation of a national feeling in the mind of the common man. Well, children, let's look at this picture. What is this picture talking about? It's talking about a revolt. Where did this revolt take place? Who was the person responsible for the revolt and against whom? Well, this is nothing but the peasant uprising which took place in the year 1848 in France. Children, if you can recall the French Revolution, which you learned in class 9, you will be able to analyze the reason behind this revolt. So I am not going to explain the uprising. All I am going to tell you is what happened at the end of this uprising. At the end of this uprising, King Louis XVI had to flee himself from France. Now let's look at this next picture. Here we can see a man with a whip and many people are just hiding themselves down. Who is this man? Why is he carrying a whip? What is this picture trying to tell us? Well, this man is the architect of unified Germany, Otto von Bismarck. So I don't have to go in detail to explain why this man was given a whip. He was actually given the complete responsibility by Kaiser William II to unify the whole Germany and hand it back to him. The next picture is about a man and a king. The man is helping the king wear a boot, and that boot is called Italy. Yes, children, you're right. This is talking about unification of Italy. And who is this man? This man is Giuseppe Garibaldi, who was responsible for unifying Italy, and the king is Victor Emmanuel II. So after unifying Italy, the map of the Italy is like a boot shape. So here you can see Giuseppe Garibaldi unified Italy as one and handed over the whole Italy to be ruled by Victor Emmanuel II. Now, let's look at the next picture. This is talking about the Frankfurt Parliament in the Church of St. Paul's. What exactly happened there? Let's have a look. So, we all know that the political association in Germany during the 18th century had decided to get together in the city of Frankfurt and to vote for the German National Assembly. So, on 18th May 1848, 831 elected representatives marched in a festival procession to take their place in this Frankfurt Parliament convened in the Church of St. Paul's. So in this picture, we can see all the 831 elected representatives taking their place in the Church of St. Paul's. And on the top, that is on the balcony, we can see the women standing on the left hand side, but and watching or witnessing the ceremony. It is also understood that the women were not given a say in the voting rights or a say in the political affairs. Now let's look at the next picture. Here we see a beautiful woman carrying a flag, a sword, and wearing a crown of oak leaf. Who is this woman? This woman is Germina. Then this painting was done by Philip Wendt in 1848. Germania, children, as you all know, is the allegory of Germany. And the painter prepared this painting on a cotton banner, and it was meant to be hanged from the ceiling of Church of St. Paul's, where the Frankfurt Assembly was convened in March 1848. Now, let's look into the attribute of Wendt Germany. What are the attributes and what is its significance? First, let's take the broken chain. The broken chain talks about being free or getting the freedom. Then, let's look into the breastplate with an eagle. This talks about the symbol of German Empire or the strength of the German Empire. Now let's go to the crown made by the oak leaf. This talks about heroism. Let's take the sword now. This talks about the readiness to fight. And now let's look into the olive leaves that is found in the sword. That talks about the willingness to make peace. Let's see the flag which contains black, red and golden. It talks about the flag of liberal nationalists. And last one, let's talk about the rays of light that is seen in the background. It talks about a new beginning. Well, children, we come to the last picture of this chapter, Rise of Nationalism and in Europe. Now let's see what is this last picture. Oh my God, this is a map. This is a world map. But it's not an ordinary world map. It's a map which is trying to say something special. Now let's have a look. What is this map and what is it trying to tell us? Well, this is a map celebrating the British Empire. Children, we all know during the early 16th to up to the 18th, 19th century, the European countries had conquered other countries both in the west and the east. And out of that, British was the most powerful country. So this map celebrates the British Empire or tells us how the British Empire dominated the world during the 16th to the 18th century. So let's have a look at it one by one. On the top we see angels. Angels carrying a banner of freedom. Down we see the Britannia, which is sitting on the globe, a symbol of the British nation, that it is having countries under him or under its control throughout the world. Then we have the colonies, which is represented by elephants, tigers, primitive men, etc. So in short, we can conclude that this map is telling us about the British domination throughout the world in the 16th, 17th and 18th century. Well, children, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you have understood all the picture studies now, and I'm sure this will help you prepare well for your coming examination. Till I come back with another video, take care, be safe, and all the best for your coming examination.